All right, now I'm on. I'm on. Hi. How's it going? I'm Wookie. So tonight, yesterday, who knows? It's almost Easter. We're going to be reading out uh, 1001 video games you must play before you die. Right? So let's go. So a lot of these I have played, and we're going to be talking about them as we go. All right. So happy pre-Easter. 15 minutes to go. Happy Good Friday, which was 2 days ago. Happy Easter Saturday, which is today. So this book came out in 2010. So it's very cool. I had a brief little look. I've had it for like a year. I had a brief look. We're gonna have a squizzaroonie, shall we? So I'm going to go my camera, mouse there, so I don't knock it off. All right. So 1001 video games you must play before you die. All right. I probably played I don't know, a lot. We're going to go through anyway. So if I haven't mentioned already, I am Wookie. I am a Wookie and I am Wookie. All right. Cool. So let's go through the first one, shall we? We'll skip some, we won't skip some, I don't know. We'll see how we go. So go through this index. So the 1970s. So even before the 70s. The first video game to ever come out was Space War in 1962. Fun fact. So, all right. Might as well start with the first one. The Oregon Trail, 1971. So it's a whole lot of text. You can see that. This one here. Whole heap of text. So millions of children grew up in the 1980s with the Oregon Trail installed on a classroom PC. Notionally presented as educational software, students learned almost nothing about the actual Oregon Trail. Mostly that it was a place where you shot bears, forded rivers, and occasionally died of cholera, whatever the hell that is. I have no idea what that is. Yet for a generation, the Oregon Trail was a glorious Trojan horse that somehow made it okay to play computer games during school hours. It's a solid turn-based strategy game in its own right, too. So while it may have been a terrible history lesson, it did teach kids how to make a game plan and manage the balance of risk versus reward. Surely that was more important than some dusty old pioneers anyway. You begin in the city of Independence, where you choose your lot in life: farmer, carpenter, or banker. The cushier jobs may have more cash available to them, but even as a banker, the game is punishingly difficult. The pioneer life was no cakewalk. After all, so you have to manage resources carefully as your wagon lopes towards Oregon. Have I mentioned how I'm still learning to read? Not really. I'm just not very good at it. Anywho, do you keep your family fat and healthy or starve them to stretch the food budget? Buy more bullets for hunting or grab a spare part in case of a breakdown. The long grind of a trail is broken up by landmarks, most memorably river crossings. It's here that many foolhardy players have met their demise by wading into 8 feet deep waters just to save a buck on ferry fare. Ferry fare, hey? The Oregon Trail has seen countless ports and remakes since its 1971 debut, but the canonical version is probably the 1985 version for Apple II computers. It's the edition with color graphics that were remarkably detailed for the time that most players remember as their first encounter with the strange beast known as edutainment. Okay, cool. So that's the Oregon Trail. Cool, right? The next game is Pong. I know it's quite dark. I apologize. But also wanted to take this time to talk to everyone. And, I play a million video games. I skateboard, I play bass, I do all this stuff. Don't do this, Wookie, because it doesn't work. I do all this stuff, but I just wanted to connect with my audience and you, everyone. So, hi. So Pong is the second one, 1972. So I'm not going to read all about that. Everyone knows about Pong, I believe. Breakout looks interesting. So Breakout from 1976. I'm familiar with Arkanoid. So I know it's really dark, but it doesn't matter for now. So Arkanoid I'm aware of. Breakout I'm not. But it looks like Arkanoid if you're aware of that. Boot Hill. I may just read out some titles. 1977. Boot Hill. Jesus Christ. Combat. It's just called Combat with a C, not a K. Not like Mortal Kombat. So Space Invaders. Everyone's aware of that. 1978. That's pretty cool. Everyone knows Space Invaders. Almost everybody's played it too. Struggling through wave after wave after deadening a wave of planet Earth's least imaginative attackers, firing at endless wobbling drones who track back and forth, getting ever closer until mankind is reduced to a single turret. Scurrying around the bottom of the screen, taking its last few careful pot shots from behind the slowly disintegrating shield. If Pac-Man is about memory and Donkey Kong is all about story, then Space Invaders is fascinated with panic. The unshakable twitchiness that picks up as the last invaders invade your frantic shots. As the speed increases and the nasty little deep space squids get lower and lower until you're within touching distance of their mandibles. Yeah, so everyone's played Space Invaders. I reckon, anyway. It's fantastic. Look at that. I really need a light, which I've got two, but for now it's fine. This is a test. My neck just cracked. Let me see if I can actually hear myself on this. I'm just going to check with my phone. See how we go, hey? Let's see how we go. It's not the right one. Go on here. Can I hear myself? Go on here. Yep. Story that Space Invaders is fascinated with. I can hear myself. Yep. Look at that. Now you can hear myself listening to myself. Okay, cool. That's Space Invaders. There's 1,001 games. I'll read them all out, but I won't go through all the details. Okay. Adventure. I first learned about the game Adventure from the book Ready Player One. Fantastic book, one of the best ever written. 1979. Yeah, okay. So this was notably the first game with an Easter egg. Was it Howard Scott Warshaw? Was he the guy that made it? Or was it another guy? I know Howard Scott Warshaw. He did. Didn't he do E.T.? Something like that. Either way, Adventure. You're you're a dot, and you go around a maze, almost an invisible maze, going around trying to find a castle and possibly a dragon. And yeah, so adventure, check it out. Very cool. Asteroids. So asteroids. If you're familiar with that, you're basically familiar with Space War. You know, the first video game from 1962. Asteroids is essentially a clone of Space War. So pretty cool. Galaxian. So before Galaga or Galaga, we got Galaxian from 1979. That's pretty sick. See if you can see that. Reversed. So Galaxian is cool. It's cool. Lunar Lander. I don't know if I played Lunar Lander from 1979. That's pretty cool. It's a big book too. Look how thick this is. Like the Bible. Donkey Kong. Okay. What was that? 1980? Yeah, 1980. Okay. Nope. Maybe? I don't know. Technically doesn't say. Donkey Kong's great. So Battlezone, 1980. Defender. I've heard of Defender. I don't think I've played Defender though. So Emon, EAMON. You're a dragon. Welcome to Emon, the computerized fantasy role-playing system designed for the Apple II. That's cool. I remember McPlaymate on the Apple II from 1988, and Manhole and Dark Castle. They were very cool. Missile Command, I played that. That's cool. Rogue, Tempest. Tempest is great. 1980. Mud. Okay. So text-based fantasy and video games, largely by incorporating D&D into a virtual world. Oh, okay. No. So 1975's Adventure, popularized. Yeah, okay, right. I fucked up, sorry. So Mud was a multi-user dungeon. Okay, so it's a virtual world. Cool. Pac-Man, 1980. Phoenix, Zork 1, Warlords, Centipede, Galaga, 1981. Right, Donkey Kong, 1981. Okay. Oh, Nintendo. For some reason, I keep forgetting that it was Nintendo. I get this mixed up with like Rampage because I'm pretty sure Rampage was originally Midway, then it was Namco or one of those. It was something like that. It wasn't. It was bought out by someone, I think. Kicks, so QIX. It's like I don't even know what that is. Scramble, I've heard of that one. Stargate, not like the film. Venture, I don't know what that's like. Maybe like Adventure. A little bit more stuff going on. Miss Pac-Man, 1981. Frogger, 1981. Fantastic. I love Frogger. I was playing a game the other day with my daughter. I was playing It Takes Two. There's a level where you're riding a frog and you're jumping onto lily pads like over this pond, and I'm like, it's like playing Frogger but with a frog. Hilarious. It Takes Two, by the way, is a fantastic game. Check it. Golf Ultima 1, 1981. Shit the bed. I did not know it was that early. Gravatar, Joust. Oh my god, Joust is amazing. I love Joust. I played that as a kid. Yeah. Oh man, Joust. Riding like emus or ostriches. The Hobbit, 1982. I did not know about this. Whoa. See, you know, you can go on the internet and read and learn about all this stuff, but it's nice to have this physical media, you know, this physical book that I can pick up and I can read it badly. Choplifter. Not shoplifter, choplifter, because you're lifting a chopper. Robotron or Robotron 2084. I've got long and we'll be in Robotron. Dig Dug. I love Dig Dug. Let's see if you can see that. It is dark, I know. It's pretty cool though. Dig Dug. I have played that maybe once. It is a little bit different, but reminded me of like Boulder Dash. I love Boulder Dash. Miner 2049er. Okay. Moon Patrol. I played a bit of that. Mr. Do. Qbert. Played a bit of that. I need to think fourth dimensionally while playing Qbert. It's quite difficult. Cool. There's my face. Xevious. Xevious. Oh shit! It's Easter. Happy Easter. 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sokoban. Sokoban is a beautiful example of how a simple set of rules can result in something extraordinarily complex. It's a game that can be grasped in seconds. You're a warehouse keeper. You need to move a collection of crates to marked points in the warehouse, and you can only push and not pull them one at a time. Such elegance. The only fly in the ointment is the fact that the warehouse was designed by a madman, or perhaps a sadist, or more likely, a sadistic madman. Cool. It's the level design that makes Sokoban. Its warehouses are cunning fabrications of open areas, corridors, and bottlenecks built to trick you into maneuvering yourself into a dead end. How thrilling. Cool. Tron's great. They made 3 films. Tron's a fun game. In the 1980s nerd flick Tron, Jeff Bridges plays Flynn, a video game designer turned video arcade owner. And in his first scene, we see him beating a very dull tank while a crowd cheers on. A game for the film was inevitable. Wow. And while Tron's two-dimensional top-down graphics don't match the movie's intensity, they nail its look and its most famous action sequences. I must have forgot, or I didn't know. Did not know that Tron was based on the film. That's cool. So maybe Tron was the first game to ever be based on a film. Because that's 1982. Super Mario Brothers was like 93. But that was based on the movie was based on a game. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Tron did it first. Time Pilot, I've heard of that. Utopia, iRobot. I wonder if it's based on what's his face? Philip K. Dick, was it? One of those writers. Archon. It's like chess, but mental. Star Wars. Cool. 1983. It's arcade by Atari. It's a shoot 'em up. It's pretty cool. Just uses not Vectrex. It uses Vectic. Vectum. Vecnic. Some sort of graphics. Vector. Vector graphics. It sure does. Shucky Egg. Oh, yeah. Dragon's Lair. Okay, now we're talking. Dragon's Lair. 1983. That was... I don't know if it's the first, but it was definitely the most, and still is the most popular Laserdisc game. So it was a QuickTime... Yes. Essentially QuickTime events. So yeah, if you're about to fall into a trap, you press left or right to avoid the trap. Very fucking cool. Gyrus, kind of like Tempest, I think. Mad Planets, Mule from 1983. Does that stand for anything? I don't know. Planetfall. Very cool. It's a fun little science experiment, eh? Spy Hunter. I've heard of that. Can't remember if this was the one that was originally supposed to be a James Bond game or if that was Spy something. Sly Spy. I think it was Sly Spy. Spy Hunter may have been a similar one. Crystal Castles. Yep. I've heard of that, but I've never played it. Really, the first like RPG game I really got into was like Dark Souls, so I didn't really have the patience or the patience for an RPG back in the day. Jetpack, Juno first. Load Runner, that was cool. Played a lot of that. Load Runner's great. Manic Miner, I mentioned that before, but I don't think I ever played it. Taper, yep. I remember that. Just from the Angry Video Game Nerd, I reckon. Track and Field, yep. My local arcade coin amusement place has the arcade version of Track and Field. Very cool. Ball Blazer. Bank Panic. Oh, wow. So, Hero. Don't know what it stands for. This looks like Pitfall, but on steroids. Boulder Dash. Yeah, Boulder Dash was sick. So I played a lot of the old Atari, the old NES, and the old Apple Mac and IBM back in the day. But I definitely played Boulder Dash on the IBM. Great game. You get fucked pretty easy by those boulders, eh? Bomb Jack. So my second cousins ran an arcade coin amusement up in Gosford in New South Wales or Sydney, and they had a Bomb Jack arcade machine outside the house as well as a Wonder Boy arcade machine. So I played the shit out of Bomb Jack. Elite. I've heard of that, but I haven't even played it. Kung Fu Master. Yep. Kung Fu Master is sick. Still never finished it. Heavily inspired by what would it be? Game of Death, Bruce Lee's Game of Death, Kung Fu Master. You had to go up different flights of stairs, and you had certain bosses at each flight. Very cool. It's very cool. Deus Ex Machina? Oh, Deus Ex. Did not know that there was an original Deus Ex. I thought that was just the game from like 1998 or something. Let's see. A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Didn't know there was an original game from 1984. That's cool. Just to recap, we've got 1001 video games you must play before you die. Hyper Sports, and it's Easter. Happy Easter. Did Jesus die today? Was that yesterday or was that tomorrow? I don't know. Something like that. Marble Madness, Karate Champ. People have fond memories, they tell me, of Karate Champ. And there's like Ye Olde Kung Fu, I think it is. Yeah. Night Law, as in KNIGHT Law. Demolition Derby. No shit. I thought that came out like on the PS1 for the first time, so it's pretty cool. Lords of Midnight, Jet Set Willy. Wow. Pac-Land, first time that Pac-Man went like fully platforming and side-scrolling, I should say. Paperboy, 1984. That's cool. Shit. Okay, Spy vs. Spy. It's based on. That was mentioned. I think that was it originated in a Mad magazine back in the day. Bounty Bob Strikes Back. Okay. See, I've got all these. Well, I've got the majority on emulator. I should actually give a lot of these a go. Deja Vu. Have we been here before? Summer Games 2. A Mind Forever Voyaging Commando. Oh, 2 games there. A Mind Forever Voyaging. That's 1 game. At the height of its power, Infocom took a chance on its boldest game, an interactive story about the power of politics to crush lives. A personal story is told from inside a computer, and a game with almost no challenge. A Mind Forever Voyaging casts the player as a sentient artificial intelligence in a laboratory. The government is about to roll out a radical set of policies called the Plan for Renewed National Process, and you are tasked with exploring a simulation of the future to assess how the plan rolls out. Cool. Then Commando from 1985. What do we got? Yeah, Yi Ya Kung Fu. Don't think I've ever played that, but people tell me it's cool. Or was cool, I don't know. It still is. Gauntlet. Yeah, I remember this. Gauntlet is sick. It definitely is a light, but that's fine. It's all learning, hey. Ghost and Goblins, fuck that game. Green Beret. Yeah, my mate Vaughn told me that he used to play a game called Green Beret, and I looked it up, and I've got it on my convenient box. And I think there was like 2 versions. There was an arcade one, and maybe like Amiga or something, or Amstrad, something like that. So, yeah. Gradius. Never really. I don't think I really played that. If there's a game style like Gradius, I played R-Type. That would have been my go-to with that shoot 'em up style, you know. Mercenary, Little Computer People. Never heard of that one. Tekken World Cup, or TEHKAN. Super Mario Bros. Okay. 1985. That's cool. So on the NES platform game, yep. Very cool. I've been playing a lot of the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES lately, and my brother recently passed it. I haven't finished it in a while, but my customers love it. I bring it to every market or event that I attend, and it's really good to see kids and adults equally play it and appreciate it, especially kids. You know, without Mario, we wouldn't have Minecraft and Call of Duty, whatever. So, yeah, cool. The Bard's Tale. That's cool. I played the PS2 version of the Bard's Tale from 2004 or something, but never played the original Bard's Tale. I remember a great quote thing from Bard's Tale. It said, "A quest for coin and cleavage." I thought that's pretty cool. Fairlight, 1985. That's an adventure game. Paranoid. Who said that? Oh, a video game. Paranoid. School Days, but it's like SKOOL and then DAZE. Tetris, 1985. I did hear that. Let's see. Tetris sold really well because of the Game Boy, the first Game Boy from 1989. That's the reason why Tetris sold so well. Trinity from 1985. Alex Kidd in Miracle World, yeah, 1986. That's amazing. Amazing game. And the music, that's the thing. So many games have such replayability, and they've got such longevity and love. People love them so much because of the music, because of the colors, because of the gameplay, because of the characters. You know, these games will live on forever. Leaderboard, a golf game. Alter Ego, 1986. That's for the Apple II, hey? It's a role-playing game. Billed as a role-playing game about life, Alter Ego is the hypothesis of I can't read that. Arkanoid. Yeah, I was talking about Arkanoid. So not really colourful, but yeah, you get the picture. There's lots of colourful blocks at the top, and you control like a little platformy thing at the bottom, and you can't let the ball go down, and you get little power-ups. Great game. Oh my goodness. And the music is awesome. It's so cool. Never finished it. I got to like, I don't know, whatever level. Darius, which is similar to Gradius, but on fucking tons of steroids. Gauntlet 2. It's a bit of an upgrade from the first one, which is cool. Salamander. Don't think I ever played it, but that looks more like an R-type game. 1986. That's Konami. Yeah, Konami. Great developer. Bubble Bobble, sick. I played Puzzle Bobble more than Bubble Bobble, but Bubble Bobble was great. Kid Icarus, yeah, on Nintendo, 1986. Wow. Terribly hard game. I barely even finished the first level. Kid Icarus was awesome. I get Kid Icarus and Kid Chameleon mixed up. Kid Chameleon was on the Sega Mega Drive. But Kid Icarus was on the Nintendo. Spin Dizzy and Ikari Warriors. Ikari Warriors was essentially just Rambo. You know? Yeah, the Sylvester Stallone blockbuster Rambo 2 First Blood was arguably a step in America's healing process after the debacle of Vietnam. The beefy action star, shirtless and sporting a bandana wrapped around his head, tore through Southeast Asia with a machine gun on a quest to save the prisoners of wars that America forgot. Ikari Warriors openly copies the characters and even the look of Rambo, but reimagines it as a light-hearted buddy action flick. Two players can work together to charge their way through the jungle, avoiding slow-moving enemy fire and tossing grenades to clear the way. Pretty cool, eh? I only recently saw the Rambos 1, 2, and 3 for the first time a year and a bit ago. Fantastic film. Oh, the third one's shit. First two are brilliant. Rebel Star. Outrun. Outrun's awesome. Solomon's Key. I did play this a few years ago. Yeah, pretty hard, but pretty cool. Dragon Quest. 1986, eh? And that's NES. And that's NX, like so eventually Square Enix and then Squaresoft. So it's pretty cool. Before Final Fantasy. Defender of the Crown. Wow, 1986. Rolling Thunder, yeah, cool game. Rolling Thunder did remind me a lot of like James Bond. Who knows if they were, trying to go for that. That was Namco, yeah, okay. Super Sprint 720, yeah, played 720. It's a skateboarding game. It's very cool. The Sentinel, never played that. Thrust, never played that. Space Harrier, played a bit of that. It's just I didn't understand it. You're flying through shit. I don't know what the point of it was. Maybe it was just like kind of like a prototype for other games, like Need for Speed Pro Street. That was a shit game, but it was essentially just supposed to be like a prototype engine for the next Need for Speed game, Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. So one of the many bragging rights I have, I finished this game. It sucked. So the story goes, so I could read this, but the story goes that Super Mario Bros. 2 got released in Japan, but it was done too hard, so they ended up getting a game called Doki Doki Panic, and just re-skinning it to have Mario characters and new characters, and then called it Super Mario Bros. 2. And then they released Super Mario Bros. All Stars and had Mario 1, 2, and 3, and Super Mario World, and then they had Mario the Lost Levels on there, which is Mario Bros. 2, the original one. Fucking hard, but I done it. Yeah. Claim to fame, hashtag. Buggy Boy, never played that. The Legend of Zelda. I never played the original. I did start playing Link to the Past today with my daughter. She's 10 on the SNES. And this has been a long time coming since until I just had patience, time, interest. Because my mate was here earlier. He's playing Ocarina of Time while I watch him. Because I've never really had an interest in Zelda. But yeah, I want to get through A Link to the Past and just go from there. But yeah, the original Zelda, 1986. Amazing. World Games. Okay, there's a dude jumping off a cliff. Interesting. Super Hang On? What happened to Hang On? Is it just Super Hang On? Interesting. Blasteroids. Oh, is that like asteroids but blasteroids? Maybe. Interesting. NetHack. Never heard of that. APB. Don't know what that stands for. It's like car racing, I think, maybe. It's still Easter. Dungeon Master. Wow, I'm a Dungeon Master now. True story. 1987. The computer role-playing game has gone through many phases of development, but it made a leap in real-time three-dimensional action as early as 1987 with the release of Dungeon Master. The Atari ST version came first, but it was soon converted to almost every platform of the day. The game has inspired many imitators and is regarded as perhaps the era's finest accomplishment in the RPG genre. Cool, hey. Dungeon Master. California Games have played the shit out of that. Skateboarding, surfing, roller skating, all that. Very cool. International Karate Plus. Never played that. Double Dragon, definitely played that. That was sick. Head Over Heels, never played that. Nebulous, never heard of that. Oids, OIDS. Galaga, 1988. Yeah, nice. Or Galaga, whatever. Maniac Mansion. That's LucasArts. Oh, wow. 1987. R-Type. Yeah. R-Type's sick. Gemini Wing. 1943. All right. That's cool. Maybe 1942 was like after 1943. I don't know if they really got an order of this. Or maybe it does have an order because it does seem like it goes in the year or the order of the year. Operation Wolf. I've heard of that. I have actually played a little bit of it. There was one on the actually, I think the original arcade, you get a light gun. You know, pew pew. Rainbow Islands. Yeah. Very cool game. There was a few on the series, I think. Shinobi, yeah, sick. Sick. Don't see it much, but it's like, look at that. Cool panel. Oh, that's a bit lighter. Yeah, cool. Never finished any Shinobis, but very cool. I wonder if like Tenchu was inspired by Shinobi, but they just brought it into the third person 3D perspective. Xybots is XYBOTS. Sid Meier's Pirates. Oh yeah, heard of that one. Maybe this can be like a part one because it's like fuck it, like after midnight. Whizball, Carrier Command, Forgotten Worlds, Ghouls and Ghosts. That was the sequel to Ghosts and Goblins. I've always forgotten which one comes first. That's cool. Fuck Ghouls and Ghosts. Too hard. Laser Squad, Impossible Mission 2. Apparently the first Impossible Mission was actually impossible to finish. It was like a bug or something. Power Drift, Super Mario Bros. 2. Yep, that's the one. Yeah. Splatterhouse. Very cool. Narc. Narc's cool. I need to give Narc more of a go. It uses, it's a Midway. So it uses like motion capture, just like they'd later use for Mortal Kombat. You know, an NBA Jam, Pit Fighter. Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. The New Zealand story, that was cool. I love New Zealand story. The music was great. Super hard, but very, very fun. I played that on the arcade, my second cousin's house as well. Exile, never played that. 1988. Fantasy World, Dizzy, North and South. Sim City, that's cool. 1989. Midwinter. Minesweeper, that was cool. I never knew that came out on. Oh, of course, Microsoft. Yeah, PC. Yeah. Final Fight, Revenge of Shinobi, Herzog's Wii, Pang, not Pong, but Pang, Populous, Prince of Persia. Yeah. My mate recently finished Prince of Persia, the original. It took him, under an hour because you've got an hour time limit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Strider. Okay, so what's this? This is page 175. Let's see how this goes, and if it's okay, then I might do a part 2 because I've still got a shit ton of pages to go. See? Yeah, okay. So that's 1001 video games to play before you die. Obviously, it wasn't a whole lot. My arm is so sore. As I said, it's like holding a Bible or a brick. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching. Happy Easter. Yeah. Catch you all later. This is Wookie. Subscribe, like, all that, and I'll see you all soon. So, bye.